Greetings, lords and ladies, and welcome to the Westeros vibe, where justice can be seldom found in King's Landing. Before we start, I would like to remind you that links to every article or video covered this week can be found in the video description below. Also in the description you will find timestamps, so that you can choose which stories you will want to view. We started the week with American Gods may be the new Game of Thrones. The main point of comparison is the blurring between canon and adaptation. The rest of the article mainly talks about American Gods. If one is interested, then click the link and read the article. Moving on to Game of Thrones concert tour will include a lot of wildfire and other twists. Speaking about this, Ramin Djawadi, the composer of the show, said the following. The idea behind this is to showcase how music enhances those experiences for the audience. There's some great big exciting moments, like for example Mesa, which was when Daenerys frees all the slaves and people will remember that very uplifting moment, but then we will perform some of these heartbreaking moments with real musicians. That's always very special too, because when you see live musicians perform music, they put their own emotions into it, and you see a violinist and how their body moves. I think that's so powerful. For more quotes and information, follow the link and read on. Next up, Lena Headey reveals everything she thinks about Cersei's future on Game of Thrones. After her Emmy nomination, Lena gave an interview in which, among other things, she said the following. I don't feel comfort, I'm pondering where she can go from here. I don't think it will end well, who knows. The thing that gave her humanity was her kids. They're gone now. Her father is gone. Tyrion is gone. There's no one to tell her she can't, she's stupid, she's just a woman. I think when Jaime looks anything other than happy, she has a fuck you moment. This will be such an interesting season for them. Where do they go? It's so toxic now. In other news, Game of Thrones star teases Gendry return. In a recent interview, Joe Dempsey, who plays the Rowing Bastard, said the following. I'm as in the dark as anyone else. It's a bit of a loose end and they don't make a habit of leaving them untied. And actually, as the series has progressed, the more forgotten characters that have returned, the more Gendry sticks out like a sore thumb. For more quotes, click the link below and read. Moving on to check out the beautiful concept art behind Game of Thrones Season 6. The article is chock full of wonderful artwork which comes recommended. Just click the link and feast your eyes. Next up, Emilia Clarke on her post-Thrones career and Daenerys Targaryen's legacy. In the interview, she talks a bit about her role in the giant flop Terminator Genesis. As for her role in Game of Thrones, she said the following. I love it, it's a wonderful thing. I think of actors that I love and their iconic roles, and I can love and appreciate everything that they do, but there is still that one thing. I'm so lucky to be known for this. She's got range and she's got an arc, and she's got so many wonderful qualities. It's not a regular television show where it's very much the same character coming back every year. This is different. In other news, Sophie Turner confirms that cast has Game of Thrones Season 7 scripts. She has confirmed this via a tweet, and has said the following on the subject of the last 2 seasons. We kinda always knew it would be 7 or 8 seasons. It's really sad. It's really uncomfortable to think about my life without Game of Thrones. Not only has it been like a family, going to see a family every summer, but it's also been a safety net. When I finish this, I don't actually know what's going to happen. I might slip into a deep depression because I won't know what to do with myself. It's going to be very strange. I feel people are going to miss it dearly. Moving on to casting breakdowns for new roles in Game of Thrones Season 7. Here they are. Priest in his 60s. He's a venerable priest with moral authority and gravitas. The show is seeking a white actor using an RP accent with characterful face for his part. He's scheduled to shoot 1 week from September 22nd. Could this be the new High Septon? Warrior, 45 years old. The character is a tough-looking bruiser with the attack skills of a pit bull, and the actor needs to be great at fighting. He has a considerable amount of dialogue as well. It's described as an excellent part for a top-end actor. They're looking for a white actor with a neutral and non-posh English accent. The role will shoot through October. Could this be Sir Rolly Duckfield who accompanies young Griff? Gateguard in his 20s. This character is a confident, characterful, straight-talking northern lad with a great face to play across a very excellent series of scenes. He needs to have wit, timing and charisma. He'll film between mid-October and mid-November. Probably be a Winterfell Gateguard. City Guard in his 30s. This guy will intercept a suspicious-looking person on his nightly patrol. He's got an RP accent and will shoot for a week in mid-October. The speculation is that he will catch Arya sneaking into King's Landing. Merchant in his 40s. HBO wants a character actor for this part. He'll appear at an inn, the ubiquitous inn at the Crossroads, during a very busy evening. They're open on his race and appearance. He'll shoot scenes during the first week of November. Is the inn of the Crossroads? We'll see. Lovely lady. No age range is provided, but the role is described as an attractive young courtesan who is sure of her own mind. The role is a good speaking part. Again, the production is open regarding race and ethnicity. She'll shoot for a week in early October. Oh, and the part requires full nudity. She'll probably be one of Cersei's handmaidens. Young lord in his late 20s. This guy is tall, handsome young lord. The producers want a white actor with an RP accent. He shoots scenes starting September 20th. Lieutenant in his 20s. The lieutenant is an athletic, physically fit and disciplined warrior. The producers want someone who isn't white. It sounds like they'd prefer someone of Middle Eastern descent. He'll shoot for several days across 3 weeks between mid-September and mid-November. Next up, Battle of the Bastards director talks Ramsay Bolton's death scene. Michael Sapochnik had the following to say regarding this topic. There's always a level of excitement or anxiety when shooting the death scene of any of the characters in the show. That said, it was also a complicated scene because it was late in the shoot and therefore late in the year. Ewan was covered in sticky blood and actually tied to the chair. And then there were the dogs who were pretty ferocious in real life. For more, click the link and read. In other news, Game of Thrones showrunners on how the Deathly Night King is different from other villains. Benioff and Weiss said a few words on Deadline. You don't think of the Night King as a villain as such as death. He's not someone who's like Joffrey or Ramsay. He's not really human anymore. Evil comes when you have a choice between that and good, and you choose the wrong way. The Night King doesn't have a choice. He was created in that way and that's what he is. In some ways he's just death, coming for everyone in the story and for us all. Moving on to Game of Thrones star Kit Harington admits Jon Snow's return was disappointing. In a recent interview, Kit said the following. I knew I was coming back to life, but I didn't know if I'd come back as a changed person, as a villain. So I couldn't pre-plan anything, which was hard. I got the scripts and actually he comes back as himself, as the Jon that everyone knows. Which at first I found disappointing. But as he has an insight into what lies beyond that very few people in this world do. He knows that there is no afterlife, which does quietly drive who he is and what he wants to do. Next up, Season 7 Game of Thrones will shoot at Trujillo Castle, elsewhere in Cáceres. The article details a few places where scenes have been filmed or have been scouted for filming. For those who are interested in Spanish locations, then follow the link and enjoy. Moving on to Lands of YouTube, we have more videos to mention this week. Emergency Awesome has released a video about Season 7 villains, and one about a potential conflict between Jon, Cersei, and Dany. Preston Jacobs has released part 2 of his Preparing for Winter series, Theon 1, and also part 3 of the same series. That is the news for the week ending on August 21st. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please like, share, comment and subscribe. And stay tuned. Goodbye everyone.